How did I make $100,000 in my business? So many of you like the inner child series that I had, and I want to talk more about it. So the reason the series blew up is because I've been trying to inject more pieces of joy into my life. How did I make $100,000 in my business? This is the key. So what I usually do is I was noticing I was lacking a lot of joy and creativity, and I'm like, oh, what do I do to get the spark back, get more creative ideas in my business? And I actually realized it's like bringing more activities that I've always wanted to do in my day-to-day life. I think a lot of times when the goal is to quit your 9 to 5 for so long and that's all you think of, you're kind of tunnel visioned into it. And then when you finally quit your 9 to 5, I personally had an existential crisis of like, okay, I achieved this big goal that I was working on for years. Now I have this business that sustains itself. What do I do to, one, grow the business, and two, like, actually, what do I do with all this free time? And honestly, for most of the time, that free time was used to grow the business even more. And I noticed I was starting to lose joy out on the little things. So what I started to do to get back that creative spark was really just focusing on what my inner child wanted most. So that's how I came up with the inner child series, where I like focus on one activity a quarter every couple of months, whether it's a sport, it's like a design project. And it's like my 9th quarter so far. I think in a couple of weeks, I'm actually going to start taking equestrian lessons. But it's like really just checking off a lot of my childhood hopes and dreams that I've always wanted. And it also brings so much creativity. I'll give you an example. One of my biggest dreams when I was younger was to fly first class. And I wanted to have like that experience. I remember watching movies and be like, wow, like first class looks so cool. And when I booked my first class ticket to Singapore, I was just like, oh, like, is this worth it? Do I deserve it? I was actually going back and forth about it for 6 months. And I really didn't understand how making myself happy would lead into more sales and business. But it did. Because of that first class ticket, I was able to like almost upgrade the quality of what I expect from myself, and then like what my clients can also aspire to. It helped with a lot of the videos I made. It actually created my travel series that I created on YouTube that got a lot of interest. And it also kind of kickstarted this inner childhood series because I did things like I learned how to swim, took swimming lessons. I learned how to do tennis. I learned how to start singing. I took voice lessons. And a lot of that is healing to myself, but also gives me the bandwidth to turn my brain off about business to focus on other things so that I can have more creative ideas. An example is when me and my sister were walking around Halloween, we like to walk around the neighborhoods and rank houses on like a spooky scale from 1 to 10. And from doing that, we did that every night, I think, for all of October. And that was actually one of my biggest months in business because I was using creativity in my posts, in my business, in my aesthetics. I actually booked 2 speaking gigs. I think it was actually 3 in October because I was being more creative. I was just having fun. And I think a lot of times in business, we just need, yes, do the same thing. Like oftentimes the boring parts of business are the most profitable. But if you want to inject more creativity, start just doing things for yourself and see where that leads, right? I did not know that like doing like this inner childhood series would open me up to so many new activities. One big example is moving to California. That was something I've always wanted to do when I was younger. I had always dreamed of living in like Beverly Hills or California. I ended up living in Beverly Hills for a month. I got a business opportunity out there, and now I live in California full time. But it was mostly because when I was 18, I wanted to move out of the East Coast. I wanted to move out of Jersey, and now I got the opportunity to. And it's opening me up to so many new possibilities. I'm learning about how venture capital works here. I'm learning about all the different types of founders out here. So if you're feeling stuck and if you're like, how do I grow my business? Just think about what you wanted to do for a long time and why are you holding yourself back? Hopes this helps. Good luck.